Hello, everyone. Welcome to PAX East Day 2. I'm so excited for all the games we're going to play. Let's go.
My name is Jack Green, and I am making Gigasword, which is an action puzzle Metroidvania.
You already made it.
I know, yeah, here it is. It's done. So we're good?
You made this, right? They were
Yes,
telling me?
yeah.
So tell me what Gigasword is and like how it came about.
So I wanted to make a game where you had a Buster Sword, and the idea that first came to me was like, well, that would be really heavy, so what if you could put it down, and then what if you could jump higher if you don't have it? And that was the initial idea, and then just everything else that I've come up with has kind of spawned from that. It's like, on the player side, it's like, what can Ezra, the main character, do if he's not holding the sword? Well, he can swim, he can crawl through tight spaces, he can wall jump, whatever. Inversely, it's like, when you have the sword, what can you do while you're holding it? So, of course, you can fight, but you can also interact with certain objects around the world.
It kind of comes like a key, but it's also just like a little bit of a hindrance, but it allows you to like fight enemies and like move boxes and all those kinds of things, which I thought was really cool to see like the differing play styles that like having the sword or not having the sword could offer you.
Yeah.
I was just talking with someone else about carrots and bunnies. Can you
Yes.
tell me like what other kind of special interactions we can see?
Yeah, so there are a ton of secrets and collectibles to find in the game, because that's just my favorite part of playing Metroidvanias, is just when they pack them full of secrets. So I wanted to do the same thing for Gigasword. So yeah, there's a bunny in the game. If you find him and stop and pet him, it'll fill your health. But if you find a carrot and feed the carrot to the bunny, you'll get more maximum health. And then there's also like lore documents you can find. So you might find scrolls, and you'll be able to learn more about the world that way. You can like read through all your scrolls in your inventory, kind of like when you find books in Skyrim. It's just like a cool world building thing. So yeah, and then there's other secrets to find as well, like cool upgrades and stuff. So I've tried to just fill the game with as much of that as I can.
The essence of a Metroidvania. That was my next question actually, was about the lore of the game. From what I get to play, there was like a battlefield that was like full of swords and things like that. Is there anything about the game, or maybe telling us like the themes that we might find in the game in terms of story?
Yeah, so there is an in-depth story in the game. The demo doesn't really dive into that too much, but in the final game there's going to be dialogue between characters and all sorts of stuff like that. This is a game about loss and about, kind of rising to the occasion, becoming a hero, which sounds all very classical, but I've tried to do it in my own kind of unique way. So I'm very excited for people to meet these characters and actually get to know them. My biggest goal as a storyteller has been that I want there to be a really emotional bond between the players, and I want the players to really care about these characters. So hopefully I'll have accomplished that when the game comes out.
I mean, I have a soft spot for. I'm easy, I guess, is the way to say that. What kind of unlockables or abilities or items do we find throughout the story, if you can tell me?
Yeah, so a few of them are still secret, but like there's stuff that you'll get that'll permanently impact the way that you can move around the world. Like you'll be able to access new areas with certain abilities. And then, as you may have seen in the demo, there's also a skill tree full of optional abilities. So the skill tree controls like the different attacks that you can unlock and different spells and stuff like that. So you could beat the game potentially without doing any of that. It's just those kind of like the equipment that you get. That's similar to like what you might find in a Zelda game or a Metroid game, where that's actually changing your ability to move around the world.
I also saw there's like an upgrade system for the sword. Is there anything special about that, or like is it just more damage?
No, it'll be like different abilities and stuff. There's one, the first one that you can get is like, it'll shoot like a spark out of the sword that travels along the ground, but it's only when your health is full, so
Right.
that's very like Zelda-like.
Classic Zelda, yes.
Yeah, sure.
What like made you want to be a game developer?
I've just wanted to do this since I was a kid. I like, my background is art and music and stuff, so I've always wanted to, design locations and design characters and tell stories. And then, the programming side of things came later when I learned how to do that. But no, I really like, at my core, I've started off, ever since I was a kid, started off as a story writer and character designer and stuff. So a lot of game design just kind of, it's just what I've always wanted to do. It just combines all my favorite stuff.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for talking with me. And when can we expect the game to come out?
Hopefully the end of this year. That's the goal. Yeah.
If it takes till next year, take your time.
Absolutely.
We're not doing that crunching anymore.
Yeah. That's the goal.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I'm glad you enjoyed the game.